Good morning, people. This is Rusty 78609 in Central Texas, USA at 8:49 a.m. Central Standard Time. And it is 35 degrees in Central Texas, which is cold to me. And I'm taking a little drive, and I pulled over here to get my camera set up so I could do it. And this is January the 29th, 2017, and I'm on Park Road 4 in Central Texas, going towards Inks Lake State Park. And it's a windy little road through the Texas Hill Country, and we got cedar and oak trees and a little mesquite for trees. But I'm going away from the sun this morning, so the picture ought to be a little better. I'm going over to look at some tiny homes. But the topic for this morning is, also, first off, for the new viewers, my name is Rusty. My channel is Rusty 78609. I full-time RV'd for about 20 plus years, and now I go camping in my Toyota Prius, my car. I've done that for about 4 years now or more. And so if you're interested in full-time RVing and or car camping, go to my channel homepage and check out my playlist for RVing and or Prius camping. So anyway, having gotten the advertisement out of the way, I live in Central Texas, and that's my home base. I've got a 26-foot travel trailer under an aluminum cover with a wooden deck. Very nice. I own it. I don't have to make any payments, so I live very, very cheaply. We'll turn out of the sun in just a minute. This road winds, just makes big loops around. So we have to go around Inks Lake. So we'll wind around here for a while. But anyway, what I wanted to touch on this morning was, of course, I've considered every possible thing that I can think of as to ways to go traveling or camping, either in an RV or a car or a van or whatever. And I've looked at a lot of options, as you all know. And I'm kind of on hold now because I'm considering getting a Class B plus motorhome in the future, 3 or 4 years from now, when I can afford it. And I may or may not do it. I don't know. Yesterday I was sitting there thinking about how could I improve my car camping to the point that would be all I want to do. And right now, I'm real close on this Prius camping, folks. I've got this Prius camping down to a fine art. The bed is good. I've got me it's a 5-inch memory foam tri-fold mattress that's 78 inches long, or excuse me, 76 inches long and 26 inches wide, which makes a perfect bed in the Prius. So the bed is perfect. Take an ice chest, and that's what I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But anyway, I've got my organizer that I hang over the passenger seat. If you watch the videos for Prius camping, you'll see all the stuff I've done. I got window coverings, window visors and stuff. So I've got the car camping down to a point where it's just, the only downside of the trip I took out to Quartzsite was just a little cold. Other than that, the quality of the camping trip was good, very good. And I've got my little porta potty now, my little bucket with a trash can liner, which works. I know I hear y'all laughing out loud, but it does work. And I have used it many times. And I've got a way to warm my shower water and warm my food. Now I've got a little City single burner butane stove or burner thing that screws over to one of those little camper butane bottles, and it works perfectly. It works really good. It worked real good on this last trip because I heated water, I heated food, and it worked. But anyway, now what I'm finally going to get to what I want to talk about today. I got to looking at refrigerators and coolers that you can put in your car. The refrigerators, the ones that are what are refrigerators with a compressor or whatever, they're pretty expensive. They're $500 and up, and a good one's going to cost you about $800. They are 12 volt, and some of them are set up for solar, even though I don't have solar. But they do draw a little bit of juice. You know, when you plug them into your cigarette lighter in your car, you kind of have to be careful, I think. I think some of them draw about 5 or more amps. And so then I got to looking at not refrigerators for cars, but coolers. They make coolers. Coleman makes one. There's a company called ARB that makes one. And then Dometic makes one. Dometic also makes a lot of stuff for RVs. And so I'm very familiar with their product. They're very reliable, or at least they have been in my RVs. So anyway, I looked at the Coleman. They sell that one at Walmart for about 60 or 70 bucks, and it's okay. And then the ARB model is okay. And then I checked out the Dometic, and again, these are just coolers, 12 volt coolers that you plug into your cigarette lighter in your car. They have different sizes. The one I looked at for me was a 21 liter cooler from Dometic, and I found it on Amazon for $172 with free shipping, which is good because it weighs 16 pounds, which is not much. But it's also, you know, even if it didn't have the electric cooling thing, it's called thermoelectric cooler. It doesn't use a compressor. It's called thermoelectric cooling, and it will also heat. And what they do is that whatever the outside temperature, or let's just say you have it in your car and the inside temperature in your car is 75. Well, it will cool 40 degrees cooler than that in the cooler. So it will keep things in the cooler down to about 35, which is fine. It's not a freezer, it's a cooler. It cannot be used as a freezer. I want to caution all y'all on that. But they do work. I read some reviews by some truck drivers, and you know, they're the ones that use them the most. And the reliability or the ratings, you know, there was some that were, you know, over 4 stars, some were slightly under 4 stars, but overall the ratings from 3 different sources showed it to be around 4 stars, so that's pretty good. And with Amazon, if you get it and it doesn't work, you can return it, I think. Doesn't matter. I'll get my money back somehow. But so again, it's just a cooler. It's called a TC-21, Dometic Cooler TC-21, 12 volt. It comes with a 12-foot cord to plug in to your cigarette lighter. And the good thing about this particular unit is you can also plug it into a 110 outlet. So if you wanted to use it on your patio at your home, you could. Or anywhere else there's 110 or 12 volt. The dimensions are, let me see, I can remember this one. It was, let's see, 18 inches long, 12 and a half inches wide, and 15 and a half inches deep. And the good thing about a cooler is, obviously you don't put any ice in it. So all of that space in there is usable space. In my 64 quart ice chest, whenever you put a 10-pound bag of ice in it, you've used up over 1/3 of your capacity. So what you've actually got is about maybe a 30 quart cooler or slightly more. And as you know, if you've used an ice chest, the stuff can, you know, the ice melts, your stuff ends up in the water, you got to drain the water out, you got to get ice when I'm traveling in the summer, I have to get ice every 3rd or 4th day, which is not horrible, but it's just something I don't like to fool with. I really don't like the fact that the stuff gets in the water sometimes. And it's hard to organize your stuff in your ice chest when you've got to get ice. You know what I mean? Because you got to put the ice on the bottom. Well, you can lay it on top, I guess, if you want to. But I usually put mine on the bottom and put my stuff on the top. Well, I put the ice on the top of the beer, then the rest of the stuff on top of the ice. But anyway, I think this will work out much better using the cooler for me. And that will be a big issue resolved. And so, you know, I mean, I'm going to get this Prius camping down so good that I don't want to do anything else, because I mean, it's so inexpensive and you're so flexible. I mean, you know, you get 50 miles to the gallon. You can go to any campsite except some of the boony campsites. You know, you can't go down rough roads and so forth, but you know, you can go everywhere else, and you can go cheap, and it is comfortable, and I've gotten good at it. I mean, once you get your routine down, your daily routine, and that's it. And as far as eating, that's not a problem at all. I mean, with a cooler or an ice chest, I think it's going to be even better with a cooler, because I'll have a little bit more space, I think. And I don't take that much. I take some fruit, veggies, nuts, berries, of course, and of course I have my oatmeal for breakfast, and then, or oatmeal and berries with nuts and stuff for breakfast, and then I'll have a snack with some almonds, some dark chocolate almonds, and tea, and maybe some walnuts or something. And then in the evening I can have, you know, whatever I want to conjure up, which can be anything from some nachos that I can make pretty quick with beans and stuff. But anyway, enough said about all that. Again, the whole purpose of this video is just to point out that I've ordered a Dometic Cooler 12 volt. It's a TC-21, $172 delivered. You can get it cheaper from some other sites, but I don't know. I've had good luck with Amazon, and I've had good luck ordering products with Walmart too over the internet, because if they don't work out, you can return them and there's no questions asked. You have to return them within a 30-day period, and that's why I'm going ahead and getting it, because I'm probably not going to go camping in February, but I will plug the unit in, and I will try it in the car, because if it's going to break down, it's probably going to do it in the first week or two. I mean, if there's a weakness, it usually comes out pretty quick. But again, you can also use the cooler to heat stuff. I mean, it'll heat up to 150 degrees. I don't know that I'd want to. In fact, I'll probably never use it as a heater, but it could be used as a heater. But the cooling side is 40%. Scratch that. 40 degrees cooler than whatever the room or ambient temperature is. So, you know, in the car, most of the time, the temperature is going to be below 80. So I'm looking at somewhere around 40, 45 degrees average for the cooling. Now, that's perfect for me. That'll keep everything fresh. I don't take milk. I don't take butter. I don't take a lot of things that some people take, so I don't have to worry about that. I go pretty lean, folks. I go pretty damn lean. But the weight's okay, and in fact it frees up some space, because the 64 quart ice chest I have been using is much larger, and so it's going to free up some space. Now, as to noise, this thing does have a little motor, a fan, and according to what I've read, the reviews by the truck drivers and some other campers, you don't notice it. And besides that, you don't have to run it all the time, because it is a cooler, and once it gets cool, it'll stay there for a while. I don't plan on running it at night at all. I just plan on running it during the daytime as I'm traveling around, either to get groceries or changing locations or whatever. I don't plan to just have it on without the motor being on also. So hopefully that'll keep me from running down the battery. But anyway, we're on Highway 29 here in Central Texas. We're coming into the little community of Buchanan Dam. Y'all been here 1,000 times, most of you. But it's a beautiful day in Central Texas. And starting today's high is supposed to be 69. The low in the morning is supposed to be about 40. And then for the next 10 days, the temperatures will be in the 70s and in the 50s. So, you know, that's a rough winter, isn't it? That's tough. So having given you a heads up on my Dometic cooler, my 12 volt TC-21 liter cooler, it's a cooler, not a refrigerator. And I think that's going to add a little flavor to my Prius camping. And folks, that B plus may just have to go fish. I don't know. I'll look at, you know, I'm going to keep it in mind, because as I get older, it may be something that I do. I don't know, because as long as I can, I want to be able to travel and go do. I like the adventure of travel. I do. And I really like it in the Prius because you really feel like you're camping. You know what I mean? It's kind of a tent with an air conditioner and heater. And the safety of a hard body, so that if it starts hailing or there's a bear outside, you feel a lot safer. Or if you hear wolves howling all around you at night, you're not in a little flimsy ass tent. I tell you, man, I think about those people out there in those tents where there's bear in the area and panthers, and you know, if you had meat inside that tent, you better be careful. You just better be careful. But anyway, having said that, guys, I'll end this video now and see if I can get it uploaded. Let me pull over here to a spot where I can do it. This little building here on the left, that used to be a hell of a really famous steakhouse. It was called Big John's Steak Barn. It's been closed for years. But this was a great place for those meat eaters to come and eat a thick steak. He was well known for having Angus beef steaks. Anyway, guys, from Central Texas, USA, at 9:07 a.m. and 46 degrees, it is going up quick, and that's good. You guys have a great, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water, take deep breaths, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Why? Because it does help relieve stress. That's why. And stretch, walk, try to keep your diet healthy, and get some rest, and I believe you'll be all right. And we'll go traveling soon, probably in March. When it starts to warm up, I'll get the itch and away we'll go somewhere. I don't know how long we'll be gone. I'm not too sure where we'll go, but we'll do something. Anyway, guys, adios. Bye-bye.